For the second time in his career, Anthony Joshua has tasted defeat, this time at the hands of sublime technician Oleksandr Usyk. What is it about Usyk's southpaw style that allowed him to overcome the size difference, and could Joshua have done anything different to avoid defeat? In just the opening few rounds of the fight, Usyk showed us the key components of his style and strategy. Feinting, particularly to bait Joshua's lead hand, getting his lead foot on the outside and his head off-center, which aligns his own left while avoiding the right, and establishing his jab, all which serve as basic fundamentals for southpaws. Once the jab is established, Usyk can more easily land his left, as Joshua is baited into parrying or trying to counter Usyk's jab with his lead hand. This dynamic also helps keep his right hand at home. In fact, Usyk's counterclockwise footwork makes it almost impossible for Joshua to get his feet set for an accurate right hand. He only catches Usyk with a glancing blow as he's moving to the side. Usyk starts to target Joshua's body in round 2, and one thing to note is how reactive Joshua is to Usyk's punches. Instead of looking to punch with Usyk, he's strangely thinking defense first, as if Usyk is the bigger puncher. It doesn't help that Joshua's guard is so static and his posture is so upright, right in line for the left hand. When he does commit to countering the jab with hard rights on the front foot, it works for him, but Usyk doesn't make it easy, using his smaller size to his advantage. In round 5, Joshua targets the body for the first time. These punches score and do damage, but also make what he throws up top less easily anticipated. Timing the right just as Usyk jabs is his easiest route to landing flush. But over the next few rounds, Usyk is deceptive enough with his jab to press Joshua back. Look how preoccupied Joshua is with defending himself, unable to commit to power punches as he's always unsure whether Usyk is in range to be hit or about to strike back. These lefts and rights are essentially arm punches. In round 6, Joshua commits to his best right hand of the fight, again timing and countering the jab, and you can see how heavy this punch lands. Even smarter though is the fact that Joshua's next right hand loops around the guard, which surprises Usyk as he mistakenly reaches out to block another straight. By the next round though, Usyk has learned to anticipate it. These effective right hands were so rare because Joshua kept letting Usyk be first, instead of setting up combinations. They were momentary shots where Joshua's timing let him seize an opening. It also doesn't help that Joshua mostly stands straight up and backs up in a straight line, making it easy for Usyk to anticipate where his head will be. Round 8 sees Joshua have flashes of creativity with body shots and an uppercut. But again, it's only sporadic. Usyk is still controlling the angles and knows where to find Joshua every time, since Joshua's only defensive instinct is to duck down and pop right back up, which Usyk starts to time and punish. By the championship rounds, Joshua's defensive flaws are becoming more apparent as he repeatedly takes his eyes off his opponent while under fire. This makes his defensive posture totally ineffective when nearly stopped against the ropes. This habit is something that has troubled Joshua before. Joshua's moments of bad balance and poor vision means he ends up lacking peripheral awareness in the pocket. In this way, he sometimes reminds me of Amir Khan, failing to anticipate return fire and lacking proper survival instincts. So when he does end up hurt, his only recourse is to back away and shell up with poor vision. So what can Joshua do to win a rematch against Usyk? I would argue a rough blueprint already exists. Teofimo Lopez's victory over Vasily Lomachenko, another Ukrainian southpaw with fancy footwork and a size disadvantage who has the same trainer as Usyk, his own father Anatoly Lomachenko. The key aspects Joshua should study from this performance are using smart offensive footwork that limited Lomachenko's sidesteps to side angles, employing layered attacks and combinations behind feints, and counters that anticipate southpaw angles. From the opening bell, Lopez took the center of the ring and went directly onto the front foot. His attacks unfold through multiple steps forward to get into position. The final combination is disguised by multiple phases of feints. A jab up top, a jab downstairs, a left hand up top, and finally a right hand as Lomachenko is driven to the ropes. Contrast this with Joshua throwing no more than 2 punches at a time and falling short, often leaving his feet behind him. Lopez then builds on the created uncertainty by varying his power punches. Straight rights up top, straight rights downstairs, overhand rights, hooks to the body, uppercuts, a complete punch arsenal that makes it difficult for Lomachenko to defend or counter. Notice that instead of trying to play games pawing with Lomachenko's jab, Lopez just shoots his jab out every time, which prevents Loma from manipulating his lead hand or landing in the space created like Usyk was able to. The threat of this sharp jab facilitates these multi-step attacks, which drive Lomachenko backwards, from which Lopez doesn't easily allow Lomachenko to circle away. Lomachenko does start to win rounds in the second half of the fight by being aggressive, and has success when Lopez's head stays static, much like Usyk did with Joshua. Though notice, Lopez never averts his eyes from the shots coming at him, and so these punches don't end up catching him off guard and hurting him. When Lopez employs counterpunching, his head movement is subtle, moving just enough to get out of the way, and his punches are aimed at the angle Lomachenko is moving towards. Joshua seemed unprepared to anticipate these angles, stuck in place while Usyk sidestepped. Lopez was also confident enough to punch with Lomachenko and fight fire with fire, knowing he had the heavier punches. Joshua would also do well to push Usyk back like Lopez does to Lomachenko in the pocket, creating space to throw while pushing him off balance. Actually acting like the bigger man is probably a smarter alternative for Joshua instead of trying to be too cute catching and countering the superior boxer. These tactics will maximize Joshua's power, which is a bigger difference maker at heavyweight. We know that Joshua can sit down on his punches with devastating effect against a static southpaw like Charles Martin. But can he adjust his footwork to maximize his offense against Usyk's movement and skill? Or will Usyk prove too good yet again? Let me know who you think wins the rematch in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of these videos, please donate to my Patreon, because this video editing software is not free. Take care, fight fans.